the Cboys has on the walls and like a Cboys.
Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be installing some lights in the garage. And you're saying to yourself, hey Mac, why are you installing lights? You have plenty of lights in the garage. This is true. HyperLites was flooding my social media feeds during Christmas. So yeah, I bit the bullet and bought some of those hex lights. And I'm pretty excited to install them. The problem is my garage already has a bunch of fixtures. So I already have a bunch of light fixtures and they're all hardwired. I got the fans, I got the lights down there. The middle light is an outlet next to the garage opener, so we might be able to put it in this area, but the problem is I have the two fans. So I think this application might be more fitting for someone that doesn't have a bunch of lighting already in their garage, but I think those hex on lights look pretty rad and I'm excited to unbox them and see where we can install them on this garage ceiling. So without further ado, let's unbox what we ordered a couple months ago. The instructions are pretty good, not too many words, which I like. And connecting the hexagon lights is pretty self-explanatory. And it actually gives you the measurements of what kit you order. So I don't have to do this, lay it on the floor like this, because it does give you the dimensions. But I'm a visual guy, so I want to lay it on the floor and see what we're working with. And the connections are pretty easy too. You can't do it a wrong way. I mean, you can if you really force it. You can see the prongs are on the bottom side and on the bottom side of the bracket. A good way to reference the bracket is the mounting holes would be on the ceiling side. So you could just lay, this on the ceiling, and then before you peel it, you could just know, hey, it goes this way. And there's locking grooves too, so it's really hard to mess that up, but anything's possible. So let's finish building our hexagon on the floor before we put it on the ceiling and see what we're working with. Well, there you go. The diagram looks like the floor. That is huge. I think I might have overkilled when I ordered the size of this hexagon. Like I said before, there's a bunch of different sizes you can order, and I did some measurements and it's gonna be tight. Another cool feature, they do give you one extra of each item. So if one of these don't work, hopefully just one of these spares will resolve that issue. The wise thing right now would be to connect them physically together closer. Right now they're kind of just barely pressed into their brackets. To fully secure them in the brackets would be the wise thing and plug them in, but that seems like a lot more work. And plus you have to take that little film off these as well, and I'd rather just do that right before I install them, because the floor is fairly dirty yet, as you can see. So when you guys see these hexagon lights in YouTube videos, who do you guys think of? Comment below. I'll tell you what YouTubers I think about every time I see the hexagons on their videos. 3, 2, 1. It's the Cboys. I think the way they have their hexagon lights set up in their shop is pretty cool. They got the 2 containers on each side and the big hexagon light. I got a kiki that's meowing at me. So back to the Cboys. I like the containers and then the big hexagon lights, the hexagon lights inside their shop. So we're gonna go for the cool factor and do the same thing in this garage. So where do we hang the hexagon lights now? My thought is in between these 2 lights. These ones are on a switch and that one is just on a power cord down to a power strip. So the power strip has a switch, which I think is really convenient to turn on these lights, and it turns on the under the cabinet lights too, just with one switch. So I can just shut this one switch off and then all those lights are off. So by putting the hexagon lights on that same type of concept, which would be super convenient. The company does sell you a cable that you can hardwire, so that would work too. Kiki wants to help. You're a good helper today. He's next level right now. Look at him. Anyways, back to the lights. So I think that would be pretty convenient to put those lights up. And this cat's making it hard to video. To put those lights up in that area. And again, it's 90 inches between these two lights. So it'll be tight fit. So let's take that light down. And then we're gonna have to take that light down too. Like I said earlier in the video, that light is connected to the same power outlet as the garage door. So this one, I ended up putting a switch in so we can shut that one off as well. Which I could put the hexagon lights up there, but then I would have to unplug them every time I wanted to turn them on and off. And then I don't want to take these other lights out to hardwire it like I just showed you with that cable. I'd rather just keep those lights in and see if we can fit this big monster in between those two light fixtures. And I have a cat playing with my leg. Yeah. Oh boy. Maybe I should give this cat some attention as he's climbing up me right now before I do anything else. Otherwise, we're not gonna get a video done for you guys. To cat duty. And to remove that light. Hey, welcome. We're on top of a 6-foot ladder. And I measured in between that light and this light, and it is 4 feet 4 inches and a half, which is this mark right here between that light and this light. So this should be center, which looks like it's almost the same as that hook. So that will be kind of our centering for when we mount these hexagon lights on the ceiling. So let's break down one of those hexagons and start from the center of the hexagon and then go up from there. So we did some mathing, not sure if this is gonna work. Those brackets are 17 on center and 16 inches from the wall. So that's where I measured. We'll see if one of those lightsabers
1 hour into the future.
will fit between the brackets. And if they do, if this does fit between the two, super ironic, one of those brackets are in the existing hole from the old light. That would be bizarre if this fits. Well, we got the first light up. Well, not the hexagon, just the first two brackets. And from my eyeball calculation, and if you had a laser level, this would be pretty sweet. But I don't have one. The laser level would really center this up for your garage. So if you're watching this video, get one of those, or if you have one, or if your friend has one. Yeah, this is gonna help if you really want these lights centered in your garage. But with my eyeball, she's looking pretty center. So let me turn the camera around. There's my mark in the center of the ceiling. And then I put a mark right there in the center of the light, which is 8 inches. So I'm feeling pretty good. We're gonna go with that. That's the starting point. See how this lays out on the ceiling. Well, so far, so good. everything's going pretty well. When putting these brackets up using the screws, I've just been throwing the screws in and not tightening the bracket down all the way and leaving some wiggle room. It really helps for me, especially because I have a pallet ceiling. So my ceiling's not very even. So if I would sink these down all the way, it's hard to put that light inside that bracket. So that's a little tip. It'll probably work for you as well if you're using drywall and using all these anchors. But luckily I can just use the screws and not the anchors, which these screws aren't the best. I've had a couple of them strip out already, but again, I am going into wood, so it bites a little bit harder. Another thing on the negative side is this film that they put on these lights. I probably sit here and pick this thing for a good 2 to 5 minutes before I get it off. So good thing my nephew's playing basketball right now, so I can just pick at it and watch him play basketball. But yeah, no bueno. Yeah, this is not fun. I even tried to get the kids to come out and help me, but they tried one and they got frustrated and dipped on me too. I want to show you guys, I got the other power cable connected right over there above my bench blower. You see the cable coming down, and it's into the power strip. So you guys want to see what these look like? It's kind of fun to put them together too while it's lit. Oh, so bright. Can you guys see over here? I'm gonna put this one in. Actually, can I put that one in? Let you guys see what it looks like when you plug them in. It's kind of fun. A lot of people on the YouTubes and the socials say these lights are a lot brighter than what they show on video. Yeah, they ain't kidding. That's pretty legit. Well, it's been a couple days and let's wrap this video up. The lights are amazing, and I think it might be a Ponzi project because I love these lights, but now that I installed those lights that were in the garage that I converted to LED a couple years ago, and now those lights don't look as good because these lights are so bright. It's so much brighter than what you guys see right now. But let me turn my original lights on. And actually, it doesn't look as bad in camera. Just trust me, these are way brighter, and I'm not a big fan of the old shop lights now. So I think it's like once you install these Hexon lights, now you have to replace all the other lights in your garage because the rest of them look like garbage compared to those Hyperlites. As always, thanks for watching, and until next time.
This is Mac Specialty Motorsports entering you to watch the lights. Let's see the progress. Or should I say progress? Mac Specialties Motorsports.